What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Sports Debates. You might notice we've got a little bit of a crammed screen here. We've got five people because this is a big episode. This is the top 10 NBA players right now. We did this like 3 years ago, back when we were first starting this, and we all presented our lists, and it was a fun video that's still out on YouTube if you want to watch it. But we're doing a little differently this time. What we did is we all created our own top 10, actually top 12 to 15. I brought them together to create a consensus list using the averages of where everybody was placed. So we'll see how that works out. I think it turned out pretty well. Nobody has seen each other's lists. I locked mine in before I looked at everybody else's. So I'd like to welcome Cole to the pod for the first time. We've got Aiden back. And of course, me, Dwayne, and Emmanuel as usual. So let's get started with the honorable mentions. So to be an honorable mention, you had to be inside at least one person's top 10, and you had to be mentioned by at least two people's lists. So you can be in that 11 to 15 range by at least two people. So if just one person brought up this guy as like their 13th best player, not an honorable mention because they were the only person. Okay, so the honorable mentions. It's five guys. We've got Anthony Davis, Cade Cunningham, Donovan Mitchell, Paulo Banchero, and Kawhi Leonard. So those were the five that just missed. Are there any surprises in that list? Emmanuel, did you have anyone that caught your attention?
Well, Anthony Davis not making that list was interesting to me. You know, he's a complete and utter beast, triple doubles almost every day when he plays. So I was a little surprised that and Kawhi Leonard. I mean, hey, he's a good guy, but making it this high up the list is surprising to me.
I had three of those guys in my 11 to 15, so I think that's pretty good. I was surprised Donovan Mitchell didn't make it. Um, I had him ninth, so it's not like I was crazy high, but I kind of expected other people to have them in their top 10 decently high. But
I kind of forgot about Paulo, Loki.
I had
Mm.
him at 13. I had Paulo at
Yeah,
13.
I
I
probably would have, you know what? I'd have put him at about 14, 13. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, okay.
I,
I
I
guess.
had Cade Cunningham at 8.
oof.
Oh, I
Ooh,
had him
I
at
like
14.
I
Whoa.
I didn't
Yeah,
have
14?
him. I definitely didn't have him as top 10.
I
Cade
had him at,
Okay.
Cunningham.
yeah,
Yeah,
at
Kate Cunningham.
14. Yeah,
I
I,
was
I
wow.
had
thinking,
I had Cade over
I
Anthony
have
Edwards.
Kawhi at 8.
boy,
Oh, you had wow, y'all. Okay, y'all list are gonna be interesting. I can't wait to hear more
Yeah,
about
okay.
this.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this.
Either
I,
I'm
I,
gonna
I
look
had
like a complete fool next season, or I'm gonna be looking like the smartest guy here.
All right, so let's get started. Let's start at number 10. And there was actually a few people that could have been number 10, but I went with the one guy out of the few people I had considering, the one guy that was mentioned by all five people. So that was kind of my tiebreaker. And that is Jalen Brunson of the New York Knicks. So he was inside my top 10, Emmanuel's top 10, and Aiden's top 10. Dwayne and Cole, you both had him at 14. So Cole,
yes,
why
sir.
is Jalen Brunson not in your top 10?
I think he's an incredible player. I think his scoring ability is, if we're talking about scoring, just based off of scoring, he's definitely top 10. But I like to take into account defense. I thought there were plenty of players who could defend way better than Jalen Brunson and also score a decent bit. I had, like Edwards over him. I had Spida over him. I had Cunningham over him.
Here's my list consensus so we can understand what I was thinking here. I'm thinking players that are that their career currently, as in like the last 2 or so years. And don't get me wrong, Jalen Brunson is at the level. Last year was very good, no doubt. I'm not saying that had very good clutch runs. Understand that, but over some of the people on this list who I believe, if put in his position, would show out even better in his where he was at. I so whatever. But due to other reasons, his defense. I mean
Yeah,
that's clear and obvious. And
Yeah.
even though this is not necessarily his fault, but inconsistency sometimes with offense, and that is with sometimes he'll shoot his shooting splits be tour dates, and that's bad in the playoffs. And he had that in the playoffs.
I I
That's
had
the
him.
hold on. That's
Hold on.
due. Hold on. That is due to coaching issues, which I'm not saying, but that's definitely how do I explain? That's a weakness not due to him, but due to the staff that how he is ran by the staff. But it is still a weakness.
I was just saying he thrives in like tough shot making. Like I feel like that's what he thrives in. But he relies really heavily on like mid range and contested looks. I think like that makes him more prone to sort of like variance compared to like Steph or Luca or like even Booker. I think who like generate more efficient looks.
I think Ryan, where did you have him? I had him at 8.
I had him 9.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm surprised you had him that high because I know you hate the Knicks and you hate
Well,
Bronson,
gotta
but you
respect the
gotta
game,
respect it.
Yeah.
He would have been either 10 or just outside top 10 if I had included like injured players like Tatum or Halliburton,
I did.
but I
Didn't.
did not.
I
So
did include injured players. That's why my
uh,
list is a little bit different.
that's fair. That's fair.
So as I was saying, Jalen Brunson dropped 26 points, 3 assists per game. Wait, sorry, 3 rebounds per game, 7 assists, shooting 48%. And looking ahead to next season as well, I believe he's going to take another jump as well as we've seen throughout his career or out through his NBA career that he always seems to progress. And I look next year and I see him as a top 10. He was basically unguardable this entire season. Did he have 4 shooting games? Sure. Even Curry had 4 shooting games, but averaging 26 points per game, that's great.
It is great, but it's not great enough. No, I have to put Spida over him. I'm sorry. Spida, I think, is very clearly
That's
over him
valid.
with his defensive ability. Not to mention, like he averaged near the same numbers, but he was also on a very deep team. Like Spida would have averaged like a light 30, I think, on the Knicks.
Mm.
And also Edwards,
I like.
probably like the a light 30. Like honestly, you can't
Go
disagree with
ahead.
that.
Go off.
And also Edwards over him. I got Cunningham over him. I have
Mm.
Curry over him. I have Luca over him, and SJ. They're all guards I think are better than Brunson.
All right, number 9. Heading into year 23, it's LeBron James.
LeBron.
Still top 10 according to all of us. So I
Not
was
all of us.
well, yes, not everyone.
Wait.
You said no.
I'm gonna read it here.
Ah,
So I was actually the low guy. If you're gonna get mad at anyone, get mad at me. I had him 13. Emmanuel had him 11. Dwayne, you had him at 6. Cole was the highest at 5. Aiden at 10.
what?
So a wide range there brings him at number 9. So I guess I'll start since I was the low guy. Look, I respect LeBron. I'm a Jordan guy, but LeBron, great. But he's gonna be 41. Impressive season for 40. But I just think there's 10 guys plus that I'd take next season and I think are better players than he is right now.
I absolutely agree with you there, Ryan.
Thank
I
you,
mean,
Daniel.
when we're looking at him, obviously we all talk about LeBron James' amazing longevity, but eventually, like always, time does catch up to the body. And you're going into next season, and
Oh
he's
my
seen these
god.
amazing seasons from these other players, and you really don't think these other players going into next season would be better than LeBron James? Like he's great. I love LeBron, but like really top 10 still? I would put him top 15, no doubt, absolutely. There's no question in anybody's mind that he's probably top 15.
Top
But top
6 for them.
15? Top
Well,
7.
Cole, you've
top
got him the 5th best player in the league still.
Heck yeah, I do.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
hear me out when I say this. We're taking into account that it's LeBron James who has is the definition of transcendence and adaptation of basketball. Are we sure we're talking about the same LeBron James? Sure. Does he have his flaws? Absolutely. Nobody's not saying that he doesn't have his flaws, but the leadership and the playmaking, like there's just parts of LeBron's game that nobody has in the league right now. That's just truthful. No one has the IQ of LeBron. No one has the exact playmaking like LeBron. No one has the leadership like LeBron. So we're saying that LeBron Ramon James is not a top 5 player.
You know what? I'm saving 10 toes on this. Absolutely not. Is he a top 5 player?
Okay, if you don't
Absolutely
want to give
not.
top five, fine. Top eight,
Perfect.
anything below top eight is absolute disrespect. I will not understand.
Eh,
For sure.
If I can offer something, I believe that we are looking at this differently. I look at this equation, this question, as if I am going into next year, which player would I choose in a draft to start my team around in order to win the most games and go the furthest? Dwayne says, okay, the last couple of years, like who's, top 10. But I think going forward, I wouldn't take LeBron inside the top 6 or 5 or whatever if I'm trying to win the most games at this point in his career. Obviously, longevity and legacy wise, he could deserve that, but that's not what I see this as.
Well, it's current. It's
Well,
if it's next season.
yeah,
Yeah.
but we're
And
going and when we're
Steven
looking
in next season, like I get the whole I guess the whole like if we were to draft, then I would understand.
we're
Like
also
I
looking
would
at
understand that.
we're also looking at next season. So I
Yes, next
understand.
season.
We're looking at next season. Are we really expecting him to have a top 5 player caliber season and not all these other
He's
extremely
been
talented young?
consistent on that level for
He's been consistent, yeah, but top 5. Are you sure you couldn't name top
player.
5 players?
Player.
Yes, you know. You sure you couldn't name top
I had
5?
him
You
at
couldn't name
6. I had him at 6. I
at
didn't have
6.
him at 5.
But
I feel like
We'll
that's
there's
have him at
basically
definitely
5.
5.
Yeah, that's it.
now 5 might I feel like 5 is a little bit much because there's
120th.
definitely but there's a big difference. There's a huge difference in one place though, because like I'm not picking him. Oh, you know what? Never mind. All right, I'm
Well,
gonna let
I
it go.
think I was gonna say I think we can all agree, no doubt, LeBron James is extremely talented, and without a doubt, even if you want to put him higher up the list, he's undoubtedly the top fifth, like in the top 15 best players currently, even at the age of
Oh,
40.
easily,
Easily.
easy.
Yep.
I mean, I'm the one who had him the highest.
Yeah, how about you, number 5?
I had him at 5. I think you guys are just taking his age into too much account. I mean, you got to realize this man is playing against another super. I mean, he's playing with another superstar. He just like had his best 3-point shooting season. Like he shot 37% from three. He's still shooting like 50% from the field. Still bucket from the free throw line. Like those are like near like a 50, 40, 90 season. Like he's having one of the most efficient seasons. He easily has the best IQ in the entire league. He's putting up like 25, 8 and 8. He's still getting a steal. He plays solid defense. Obviously, he's not what he used to be. But like, like he still hits the floor. This man played 70 games last season. 70. That's more than Embiid has ever played in his entire career in a season. Like
Okay.
it's true. And like
He's not wrong.
and like I'm saying, like
strays for no reason.
he has impact across every category, running the offense, calling the defense, being the coach on the floor. The total floor control puts him above, I think, so many specialists or scorers. I'm telling you right now, like that is prime level. He is having prime level efficiency. He had one of his most efficient seasons last season. And his playoff ceiling is still higher than most. Like LeBron doesn't shrink. He doesn't force. He makes every player better. And he has the mental and emotional control to win and close the game. Like I'm telling you, I trust him more than so many players in the playoffs and the regular season.
It's just going into next season. Obviously, we all saw the huge trade that happened for the Lakers this season with Luka Doncic to the Lakers and AD going away. But I see LeBron's numbers dropping because Luka Doncic is going to be more involved in the offense. And if you watch the Lakers games, LeBron wasn't the more ball dominant player out of the two. It was Luka Doncic who took control of most of the offense. Yeah, I know that, but that's what I'm saying. I don't see his numbers going to be like, a top 5 player's numbers if he's going to have the less time in the ball with his hands. I mean, whoa. less. He's not going to have the ball in his hands less than, than Luka, because Luka's going to be running the offense. DeAndre Ayton's there now. He's obviously not like a big name there, but he's the center they kind of needed there. Yeah.
Okay, but you got to realize LeBron also averaged like near 8 assists as well, along with 25 points per game. Like he's running the offense for sure. Like at a big point. In his IQ, he has elevated Luka's game. He will elevate Luka's game. Of course, Luka's going to be like primary. He might be the first option now, but that doesn't take away from LeBron's like overall arching just impact. Like head to head, like he's better than KD. I think I'd take him over KD right now. I'd take him over Steph right now. I take him over Ant. I take him over Wemby, over Brunson, over Booker, Paolo, Cade.
Okay, okay, slow
I'm
your
telling you.
roll there. Slow your roll
Oh
there.
I'm
man.
telling you.
You
I'm
named
telling
some
you.
crazy names there.
Did I? No.
Yes.
He
Wimby
had he yes.
Whoa.
going
Hold
into
on, hold on,
next
hold on, hold on,
season?
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Into next
Let's
season.
slow down here. Hold on.
Get to it.
Don't get
Wimby?
me wrong.
We'll get
We'll
to it.
get to
Don't get me
Wemby.
wrong.
We'll
We'll get
get
to
to Wemby.
Wemby.
Don't get me
Okay,
wrong.
okay.
Wemby is not that far away from LeBron on my list. Okay. He's right next to him.
Okay.
Find out in just a bit. Let's go to number 8. This is Anthony Edwards of the Timberwolves.
Ooh.
So I was the high guy. I'm high on Ant-Man. I had him 5. Um,
5?
Aiden had him 6. Emmanuel had him 8. And Dwayne and Cole, you both had him at 11. Outside your top 10.
Yeah.
Dwayne, why is that?
I just feel yet again, this in my mind, these are players that I trust next season. Not these are players I trust in the necessary future, like we're looking past, because honestly, we're looking past next season because obviously we're talking about current. We're talking about at this moment right now. And and this is no shade at Ant. It was just we have a lot of great players. And I feel like his potential is high. And this is a wild statement, so prepare yourselves. But his base level potential is a Jimmy Butler. That's his base. His highest is Michael Jordan.
Cool.
That's what it is to me. That's what I see in that. And I feel like he can develop into that. Now, I'm saying at his highest. I'm not saying that's exactly where he's going to be, but that's the potential I see in him. But at the lowest, at Jimmy Butler. And I feel like we've already seen that shades of that already. But I can't put him in. This is just the way I form this list. I can't put him that high due to potential. I'm saying what is about to be the next season, what is about to be right now. And right now, he's almost there.
Well, I'm just going to throw this out here. Anthony Edwards averaged 27 points, 6 assists, 5 assists, shooting 44% field goal percentage while shooting 40% from 3. 40% from 3.
Yeah, he also shot a ton of threes.
And still managed 40% from 3.
He had the 4th most 3-point attempts per game, and he was shooting almost as well as Steph Curry was. It was his best 3-point percentage of his career. So he took more shots. His 3-point percentage went up. So his game was elevated this past season.
I mean, yeah, and I yet again, it's that's why he's just right outside of it because there's just so many.
I was gonna say, you know who else is shooting near Steph Curry numbers from 3?
Oh God. Oh God. I know where this is going. Oh
I don't
God.
like that.
LeBron! Yeah, exactly.
But
And he's averaging more assists, more rebounds, better IQ than
We're done
Anthony
with
How many
LeBron.
less attempts, though?
Yeah,
We're done with
because
LeBron, I think.
yeah.
We'll move
But
on to LeBron.
like I
If
was
can give,
saying,
sorry,
he-
keep going.
Anthony Edwards he averaged 27 points, 27% shoot with good shooting percentage and 40% from 3.
What happened in the playoffs though?
But we're also looking into next season. You really think he's not going to have better numbers? We just saw him have a
His
huge
first
jump
bad
in 3 points.
Better
series.
numbers? No. No. I don't see better numbers.
You think this is where he stagnates at?
No, it's not where he stagnates. I feel like, and this is my personal opinion, I feel like he needs to change his game a little bit and tailor it more to the mid range. Because sometimes you're with the 3-pointer, and don't get me wrong, he did well in the season, but once you step into the playoffs, you can't really be that streaky during the playoffs. So tailor his game more to a mid range. And yeah, I feel like he stays the same, but not the same with 3-point shooting, if that makes sense.
I feel like I trust his potential and development into next season more than a lot of these players. Like he's genuinely one of my favorite players to watch in the league. Like when the playoffs are around, I tune in and I watch him because he's a dog. And I don't think he'll get that close to like Michael Jordan, but you can see the parallels, right? And so I think that's what the mentality in his game and the desire to kill guys is what makes him in that upper top 7 for me because I trust him to take a leap. He's what, 23? He's
Yes.
23. And a lot of these other guys are either in their primes. He's not even close to his athletic prime. So I do trust his development and a potential leap more than
Yeah,
a lot of other guys.
yeah, and I completely respect that. I think just the thing with Edwards, what sort of pushing him out of the top 10 is just there's just players that just like edge him out just pause. Just like go around him just a little bit more. Like I think I had Cat above him.
Are you
He
outside
had
your
Cat as
mind?
10.
I did.
He had Cat as 10.
I had
What?
Wemby above him. I had Cunningham
Oh,
above him. I had Curry
okay.
above him. I had Durant above him.
Uh,
LeBron,
uh,
Luca, Giannis,
Nah, stop,
SGA.
stop, stop, just stop. You
okay.
lost
We're
me
done.
at cat.
You lost me at
You
Cat.
lost me at cat.
We
Hello?
forget Anthony Edwards is probably one of the
Control,
best
bro.
two-way players in the league right now. One of the best.
Is he
All right.
defensively?
Defensively, he's great. I think
Hear
he's a
me
pretty
out. Hear
good
me
Yeah.
out.
defender
Well,
out there.
actually,
Hear
his
me
on
out.
ball. Can I
That's
say something?
that's true. That's true. The only issue he really has is foul trouble. That's
And
the issue.
turnovers.
I'm saying on the
Well, if we
defensive
want to
side.
do turnovers, we got to talk about Cade.
That's true.
Yeah,
So,
but
but
Cade averages like double the assists.
anyways,
But
let's
anyways,
continue this list.
All right. Number 7. The blood clot won't stop him. It's Victor Wembanyama
Oh,
at
see,
number 7. All right.
Where I had him.
all right. No, no,
Emmanuel,
hold on.
super high. He had him at 4. That was the highest. I
Wow.
was at 8. Aiden at 7. Cole at 9. Dwayne at 12. All right.
12.
Okay,
So,
let me explain myself. Yet again, I'm not trying to work it off potential. I'm working at what I saw last season and right now. And last season he was hurt with a blood clot, so he has a great amount of potential. And hold on, let me get my notes real quick because I think I said he is possibly league breaking. So that easily puts him at the like. Let's say he takes a leap next year, he's easily like 5 or 4 because he was with the time he had, he was still a monster. But I'm saying from what I saw last season up until this point, which we haven't seen anything else from him, and unfortunately that puts him at 12. Now, for me personally, I had him interchangeable with my and my 10. I'm doing it off of age bias. So
I'm going to explain why I had him up so high there at number 4. Obviously, we all know his season was cut short last year by a freak. You can call it well injury occurrence, whatever you want to call it. What we did see at the beginning of the season was a number 1 consensus defensive player of the year winner, without a doubt. There was almost nobody close to him at the beginning of the year, and I really don't think there's a particular weakness in his game. I'm pretty sure he's great all around. You can, if you think there's a weakness, go ahead.
lacks in strength. That's what I'll say.
Sure,
That is
sure.
that is a weakness. That's about it though. That's it.
Absolutely.
That's it.
His weight,
His 3 point shooting is pretty rough too. It's like
that is
40%.
true. That's what I was going to lead into. His 3-point shooting, and obviously
35%.
35 is his 32%. Oh wait, I'm looking at
and,
his rookie season. Never mind. Oh yeah, he's pretty
35% on almost 9 attempts per game.
and we also saw him make a
9.
couple of really deep threes from half court this season as well from the little bit of games he played. But obviously his big problems are his weight, or aka strength, and his 3-point shooting, which I think he can improve. But other than that, he's all around. He averaged 24 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 blocks per game. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4. 4 blocks per game. And that's, to me, top 4. That's enough for me to put him as my top 4. I think he's going to have a monster season next year.
Way better than Chet.
Oh, my God. Rage bait. Don't fall for
Aiden,
it.
just speak. Aiden, just speak. Aiden, just speak. Just speak. Just speak.
Yeah, I can admit I'm projecting a little bit. I have him at 7, which is where the average has it. Um, but I do think his supporting cast will be a lot better. He'll have a full season with what's his name? The guy on
Fox.
things, Fox. And then they got Dylan Harper and they have a ton of other young guys, Castle and so I think I'm projecting that he will be able to raise the floor of the guys around him and that I think they can finish in the top 4 in the West. I mean, it's a competitive conference, but they have a lot of young guys and a lot of good talent, and I think he'll elevate them, and I think they'll be a really good team. So, but I am projecting for sure.
All right. Number 6, Steph Curry. Let's see where we had him. So Aiden, highest at 5. Cole at 7, and me at 7. Dwayne at 8. Emmanuel at 12.
12.
12.
Well, I
Emmanuel.
didn't
Are you outside your
12?
mind?
I didn't have him in my top 10 list. I was going to put him instead of Brunson there, but I was thinking about going into next season there, and I wasn't sure exactly how his season would go with the lack of, well, a proper team. Obviously,
But
his scoring stats are going to be absolutely amazing there, but what makes Curry so incredibly dangerous is the ability to run off of the screens and have other problems on that team with him, which allows him to open up and get the, obviously shoot the ball. His assists might be a little lower because he doesn't have the scoring. He doesn't have the scoring teammates out there. Obviously, he has Jimmy Butler, who's Jimmy Butler, but I wasn't sure if he would have a top 10 season this upcoming season. That's why I wasn't sure of putting there. Obviously, undoubtedly, he's extremely talented. I hate the guy. I love to watch him, but like I can't deny that he is so incredible. But I just couldn't get myself to say he would have a top 10 season this upcoming season. That's it.
Lightly as possible, nice and gentle. What we said this about him previously before. You remember when that was? That was 2022.
Mm.
And you see the tear he went on in 2022. Mind you, not saying the roster is that much better this year, because it really is. It's about the same as 2022.
Arguably, it's probably worse if it wasn't for
Maybe.
Jimmy Butler. Yeah.
But if Jimmy plays like Jimmy and actually does what he needs to do for an entire season, and Jimmy and Steph is actually a good mix when it comes to play style. Funny enough, you run into problems. How do you necessarily guard an absolutely great shooter and then have your best player be guarded by Jimmy Butler right back? That's difficult to run into. Now, sure, the other options figure that out because obviously they haven't done anything in these free agency, but I feel like because of the reason why I can't have him any higher than 8, to be honest, is the lack of defense due to his size and because he's older and more injury prone.
Yeah, and he's going to have a lot of that offensive weight on him as well.
Right. And
another
he
reason.
can't really do that to older Steph Curry. Don't get me wrong, he can still run around, he can still do that stuff, but part of his game is going to the rim as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't do that as often anymore. I have him at 8. I feel like 12 was majorly disrespectful.
Well, like I said,
I do respect your take.
Like I said, I was gonna put him at 10, but I just wasn't sure if he would have the top 10. If we're gonna include the playoffs, I don't even. There's a very good chance that they'll be like playing at best.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was the high one on him, and I guess I could see that as aggressive, but I just couldn't see anybody else putting above him at this point. And to the point about the defensive side, he had a decent season defensively, 2.7 defensive win shares. Defensive box score plus minus was average, so they weren't losing points on the defensive end, not to get nerdy. But those are good defensive stats to look at. And I just think his game translates really well to old age. Obviously, being able to shoot well. And yes, that might not be like top 5 worthy, but like I said, I just didn't see anybody else right now. I believe the next guy I had outside my top 10. I'm gonna have to defend that take here in a minute, but we'll get to that. So yeah, I just couldn't see anybody else above him at 5. But
Okay, I'm not. I have a feeling I might know who it is, and I'm a little scared. So,
I'm going to. There's going to be pitchforks coming after me on one of these.
This is an interesting one. Number 5 is Kevin Durant. All right, Emmanuel, you had him 5. Me and Cole had him 6. Dwayne 7, and Aiden at 13.
What?
What?
Okay. Now this one, I'm grabbing my pitchfork.
What? Yo, nah, bro.
So
13.
hold on.
I
13.
can
I gotta
okay.
hear this. I
I
gotta hear this.
can
I
I
gotta hear
can
this.
see this. I can see this. I'm gonna hear him out on this one. I can see this one for
He
Aiden.
went from pitchforks to hearing him out.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't look at stats, and he did play more games than I thought last year.
But
But this is his this is gonna be his fifth team, and he's showing more signs of age and injury.
mhm,
His team's gonna be really good this year. I don't deny that. But I'm also projecting a little bit that he's gonna drop off and that injury is gonna be a factor for sure. Like I didn't have Embiid in this list, and he probably has a chance of playing the same amount of games if he's
yeah.
relatively healthy. So I am projecting injury into it a little bit for sure. But I just think his best years are behind him. He's at a different point, and his game does not translate as well as Curry's does. I mean, he's going to be 37, and um, I don't know. I could see him taking a back seat on the Rockets.
I can understand this. When you look at Kevin Durant, right, it's sort of the same thing with Wemby. These guys aren't exactly like built; they're relatively skinny, and it's quite easy to see the injuries come in for Kevin Durant. I had him higher than this because I think this might be one of his best seasons since he was with the Thunder on this Rockets team. One of the best, not the best, one of the best since he was with the Rockets or maybe even the Warriors. You see his scoring, right? He averaged, let me see here, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 4.2 assists on 52% shooting. Obviously, a highly efficient scorer, a good defender, and now with the Rockets, he's going to be the face of that team. And when you look at all the other teams he was with, the Nets, the Suns, Warriors, Thunder, he was never really the focal point of those offensives. And here, I think now that he's the focal point, he's going to mesh a lot better because that's what he really needs to be is the focal point. And seeing this, I think his game and his stats are going to look a lot better. And I think, honestly, I hate to say it, the Rockets are probably going to be a top two team in the West this season. They might pose a little bit of a threat to Oklahoma, but we'll find out. We'll find out.
I think 13 is absolutely outrageous. But also, I mean, I
Did
don't
you
think there's what?
Did you put Cat over him by any chance, Cole?
No, no.
No.
Okay, okay. I
I'm
just
gonna
want to
say you
make
must
sure.
be
Just want-
outside your mind.
But I'm saying I don't think Durant has showed any signs of slowing down. I mean, this man is still averaging what he's averaged his entire career. I mean, he just shot
Mm.
43% from three. He's shooting fifth. That is outrageous. A man that high should not be shooting better than Steph Curry from the 3-point line by 4%. He's the most efficient scorer in the entire league. He's the greatest scorer in the entire league by a mile. By a mile, he's the best
Wow.
scorer in the league. A solid 27 points. I mean, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, he's a solid defender. I think the Rockets too are actually going to be the best for him. I mean, they literally built a system around Kevin Durant. You know, strong defense. They got veteran cohesion. They got spacing. I think that the Rockets have done their best to boost his chances to the maximum to thrive. His mastery, his efficiency is just unmatched in the league. Honestly.
Kevin Durant hasn't had a season below 50% since 2014. I want you to realize this is one of the most consistent, if not not only the most consistent player we've seen in recent history, if not one of the best and most consistent ever. Like this is, and the thing is, he hasn't lost step, and that, to me, that's wild. Like, sure, he might get getting slower, but his game itself isn't going to change. Like he'll still shoot over dudes. He'll still have average above 50%. And when on a team that needs him to score, he's going to score. I mean, he won't shy away from scoring. I have him at 7 respectfully. I'm not going to put him any higher than that because, yet again, I believe there are players higher than him. But respectfully, of course, the most consistent player we've seen in years should be top 10.
My main concern for this is that one, obviously, injury. Two, we haven't really seen KD participate in winning basketball in quite some time with the teams he's been on. and I'm not sure his game translates to winning basketball with this Rockets here. Obviously, undoubtedly, he's impactful, but I'm not sure his stats are going to be like, top 5. But that's just me. I mean, when's the last time we've seen him beat his team have success with him there?
That's not his fault, though.
You have to understand, like, that's not his fault.
At all.
But
See, the
was too
fact
big.
that teams don't mesh is a thing on an organization. That is not on Kevin Durant. There's two different things. If the organization cannot build, because most organizations should, unless you have a man named Steph Curry, should be building around Kevin Durant. If they fail with that, that is on them. KD is going to give you consistent buckets and consistent basketball every single time.
absolutely, no doubt.
Yeah.
So
But-
the team's not working is not him.
But can he will this team into those wins, which we haven't seen? We've seen him work with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant perfectly fine, with Bradley
Man.
Beal coming off the bench when he was there.
Bradley Beal?
When he was coming off the bench? Yeah, bro.
Okay.
I'm not saying they're
Remember
playing at the
when
same
Harden-
time as
Bradley
the
Beal
Falcons.
You remember
what's
when
up?
Harden and Kyrie got injured and
Yeah.
what he did to the Bucks?
Yeah.
Remember, both of them were gone. And
Okay.
he almost beat the Bucks, who won that year.
The only
Okay.
thing standing in his way was his shoe size.
I mean, bro,
Yeah.
the third best.
So
The
that
third
was
best
a
player.
team that was not that great
Yep.
because of those injuries. But yet he led that team.
Wait, didn't Kyrie play some of that series though?
No.
Wasn't that during Ramadan for him?
Emmanuel.
Am I
Emmanuel,
crazy?
Emmanuel,
I think
just gotta
that might be
say,
the year after.
We're
Emmanuel,
off the rails.
you can't really hold the Suns against him, bro. The third best player on the Suns team was freaking Bol Bol, all right? Like, you can't really do anything
Okay.
against that. And Grayson, like, he had no help. I mean, he's still amazing. I mean, like, that man had no help on the
Undoubtedly.
Suns.
He's
Besides
not top
Devin
five,
Booker.
but he's
Besides
definitely
Devin
top
Booker.
8. I would
Like, you
say.
put Kevin Durant on the OKC Thunder right now, man's winning back to back. And, like, I think this upcoming season is
Bite your tongue. Bite your tongue. when
Whoa,
talking.
you should say back
Bite
to
your
back.
tongue.
as well.
All right. All right, but I'm saying this upcoming season for Kevin Durant is, I think, one of his most important seasons.
Absolutely.
This
without a
this is the
doubt.
time for renewed prominence. He's either going to fall off or he's going to redefine himself as a consistent top 5 player in the league. If he makes a championship, he has a championship caliber team. He has an amazing group of guys around him.
bench,
And so
young,
this-
talented. Absolutely.
This is his last chance.
I agree with you. I was just throwing out the potential worries. Do I really think it's going to happen?
If I can provide one more argument, since 2019, he has finished inside the top 10 of MVP voting twice. That's 6 seasons twice. That was 9th and 10th. So I would make the argument that you guys are actually projecting onto what he will be this year without any consideration of what he's done in the last 6 years, which is get hurt and not win games, even though I'd argue he had good supporting casts, multiple big threes that didn't work out. I think this team's a lot more balanced, but there's a reason that they traded for him after already having such a good team around him. My view of looking at this argument is if I were to start a team, I would not start with Kevin Durant as one of my top 10 players because I don't trust him to lead a team. I think he will fit into this current team this upcoming season in a good way, but I do think he's going to take a step back just because he can't give the way he could for the Thunder and for the Warriors. So I would say you guys are actually projecting into what he will be this year as opposed to what he's done recently.
I like it. One thing I just want to say is we talk about LeBron's longevity and what he's doing at 40. Kevin Durant's 4 years younger, 36 season. He was 7th in the league in scoring. So I feel like Durant's longevity isn't talked about in the same conversation as LeBron's. And he actually averaged more in his age 35 and 36 season than LeBron did in his age 35, 36 season. So number 4, Luka Doncic. All right, now with the Lakers, Aiden was the highest at 3. I was at 4, as was Cole. Dwayne at 5. Emmanuel at 6.
I feel like that's valid.
Okay.
I feel like
I
that.
was
I feel
holding my
like
breath there. I got scared.
I feel like that's not. I feel like that's pretty balanced and fair because he's not like. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Who'd you
Something's
have
See,
over
clicking.
him?
Yeah, who did
see,
you have over him? Well,
I
We'll get
without
there.
exposing your list too much.
okay. So I had who we just talked about, and
Well, you
uh,
had. Hold
He
on.
had
Say that again.
Wemby. He had Wemby over Luca
yeah,
because he had
Right.
because
Wemby at 4.
Yeah.
see,
Right.
see,
He's potential man. I understand that.
going into next season. Also, the thing about Luca that makes me halt putting him higher is the defensive side for him.
Valid.
I really do hope because if us, oh my goodness, it will be so glorious to watch if he gets better on defense. But he averaged 28 points, right? Sorry, 20. Wait, yeah, 28 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists on 45% shooting there. So really, for me, what stopped me from putting him higher was the fact that his defense is severely lacking. It's also the same reason why my top three is a little odd.
I put it in my notes. I defined him in a certain way. A European James Harden. I mean, in my opinion, his level of scoring puts him at that level. And on top of that, I had European James Harden with Rondo level playmaking.
Mm.
I mean, to me the reason that makes him top five. Because that makes him top five over his defense. His defense is lackluster, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But that level of elite playmaking and scoring, you're not getting that a lot of places. And don't get me wrong, you have a few here and there that can score, but Luca will score if that makes sense. Wait, someone had him at 3?
Yeah, I did.
Aiden.
Honestly, it was
That's
a
valid.
toss-up between him
Hold up.
and the guy at 4 or the guy at 3 you guys probably had. I really honestly was between them. Him and Giannis. I just think I'll talk about it more with Giannis, but I just think that Luca
Oh Lord.
has won. He went to the finals not last season, but the year before, right?
Mm.
Um, in 2023, 24, he averaged 34. I just think that his development curve is a lot higher than Giannis's at this point. Like I think Giannis is what he is, but I do think Luca will have a healthier season and he'll take a jump, hopefully, be healthy, be in shape. And I think if he's in shape, there's like no limit to how good he can be. Because he's only 25. He's 5, 6 years older than Giannis. So I think I'm expecting him to have a big season for sure. But
And another thing is, I'm sure he's going to be especially motivated to have one of the best seasons he can because of what happened last season with the trade as well. That obviously, when you saw them play each other, Luca took that personally. He took that very personally and absolutely destroyed the Mavericks. And I really think this is going to fuel his season. He's going to try to get him shape, play better defense, do whatever he can to will this team to a championship run if he can. Even though I don't think he will. The team stuff.
I mean, the only thing standing in between Luca and an MVP are his health and Jokic, because he averaged 34 and somehow finished third in MVP voting 2 years ago. Was averaging 28.1 on the Mavs, trades to the Lakers, averaged 28.2 with the Lakers. Like, nothing's going to slow him down except his own body and the potential GOAT when it's all said and done of Jokic. So I think he's as steady as ever, and he's my MVP pick like every year until he wins one.
What'd you say before that? Potential GOAT?
Yeah, Jokic could be the GOAT when it's all said and done. He averages a triple double with like 8 MVPs, another ring.
Yeah.
We'll get there when we get there. But just saying, he'd have like, my point was Luka would have like 3 MVPs if Jokic and Embiid didn't have
You should have at
that
least one.
run.
He probably should at least have one. I will agree with that take.
He averaged 33.9.
One
the league
one
in
MVP.
scoring.
I agree with one MVP. 3 is a little wild.
My glorious king, SGA.
All right, number 3, it is Giannis. We all had him. 3 of us had him at 3. Dwayne had him at 2. Aiden at 4. So,
Okay, now I'm really interested in Dwayne's list here.
Dwayne, this was the controversial one.
Low key,
Oh,
can I?
If
low
you want to
key,
give away who you had him over,
Okay, so first of all, I kind of forgot to say this, but I had Tatum at 4.
yeah,
Oh, you
But
added him
if
onto the list?
because I added injured players,
yeah.
so I
I
had
kept them
him at
all off.
4. So yeah, that kind of shifted the if Tatum was not there, Luca would be four, to be fair. So, but yeah, I think Jokic's game obviously is one of the best. Um,
Mhm.
I feel like his offense is obviously, I think his offense makes a 9 seed team into a 3 seed team, no doubt. But it's his lack of solid, consistent defense for me.
Oh my God, I'm so glad we're getting off the high horse of Jokic.
I
Oh,
I,
Oh,
I mean,
you had him at five?
I had him at I had him at three.
Oh,
wait, we put Jokic at three?
Yeah, I put Jokic at three.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
but like it's
wait.
his lack of defense and his just letting offensive boards go. Like I saw that in the playoffs. Like there's no denying that. That was horrendous to me, and that bothers me. Like it. Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
You can be a consistently good player on the offensive side, but for you to hit that top two for me, you can't run off just statistics. And I'm not. And I what was really difficult is I had him at two for most of the year. It's true. I had him at 2-1 for most of the year. But after seeing these playoffs and seeing how those offensive boards led to scores most of the time, I can't be comfortable with it. I can't. Like the defensive side of me is like, this is not okay.
so obviously, right? We all know it's Giannis. The reason I had to put him at three there is because though he is one of the, if like I said, maybe one or two of the best two-way players in the league right now, it's the sort of myriad of ways of his offensive scoring goes for him. He lacks in certain areas there on offense that I think either one and two beats him out in, but also he also beats him out in defense in certain areas, depending on which one it is. You got something to say,
So
Dwayne?
you say, wait, what? Either one or two. Hold
like,
on.
no, I'm saying
Defensively,
two way players that go
hold on,
offense and
no. My fault, my
defense.
fault, my fault. What do you have Giannis at?
I has as number three.
And where?
The reason
Hold
I didn't put him higher there is because his offense is extremely one dimensional, which I think takes away from him being put higher onto this list for that reason. Right?
You
Right?
good?
His offense is one dimensional.
I hear you, but I think I value defense much more
I I
in
I
my
do
eyes.
I do
So
I do too. That's why I pushed him up so high. But also, you can't have. What would Giannis be
hold
if
on.
he could hit free throws a little more?
Hear me out. I hear you on that. But is Giannis not still being dominant? Like, are we forgetting that even though his offense might be a little bit one dimensional, nobody's yet to stop it?
That's true. But also, I you know you see this, but how much more could he be if he shot better from mid range, made his free throws when he gets fouled? He had 10 fouls per game. He averaged 10 fouls per game, and maybe hit what, maybe 40% from three. I mean, from free throw. It was pretty bad.
I get that.
That's why I'm saying going into next season, he's
61.
obviously 61%.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. So I'm just saying his defense is obviously amazing, but I think his passing isn't better than one or two in this position. I don't think his scoring is better than one or two in this position. I think his defense is way better than twos. I think his defense is better than one, but I can't put him higher because I know those two players are more well rounded than what
He's
he
the
is.
second best defender on this list.
Yeah, maybe
And
you can even put him at one, honestly. The best
over
defender.
Kawhi, outside your mind.
Oh, I forgot
Anyways,
Kawhi's on this list for some of y'all.
outside your mind. But
I even put him top 15.
he has the second best defense on this list and still one of the most dominant players, if not the most dominant player in the league.
Uh-huh.
And he's not two.
Three
Okay,
straight seasons of 30 points a game, 11 rebounds, and basically 6 assists. He's scoring more than he was his 2 MVP seasons, like 6 years later.
That's true.
he was a little worse defense. He's a little worse defensively now than he was then. But I see Giannis at his peak. Like Emmanuel said, we've seen the iterations of him where he tries to shoot and he's down to 22% from three and 60% from the line. So I just feel like there are limitations to his game that I can't I can't believe he's with the injuries as well. It's been unlucky. He's gotten injured in the around the playoffs like the last bunch of years. But I don't think that him and their team, especially their team's not going to be good. Like they've
No.
done a terrible job with their roster retooling, and I just don't think he is what he was a few years ago, both with his team and with what we thought he could be, adding to his game. So I do think I couldn't really see him getting beyond the guys ahead of him that we're going to talk about. But
And one more one more thing. Now that we all know the Bucks team is going to suck. The pressure they're going to give the ball more to Giannis. He's going to have the ball probably 100% of the times on offense. But the problem is then wear and tear happens because of how he decides to play. He is a very physical player, and I'm worried that injury will come into play because of how much offensive pressure he is now forced to bear for this horrible team. Unless I really hope he does get traded.
1 and 2, we know who it is, right? The two guys. It's the debate between those two all season. We'll try to keep this one a little shorter because we already have an episode where Emmanuel and Dwayne go at it for 40 minutes between Jokic and SGA. I think Cole wants to change his, but I'm reading what I have that I was given. Everybody had SGA at 1 except for Aiden. Aiden was the lone
Aiden!
Jokic supporter.
I'm sick of you.
what are we doing?
And well, Cole wants to change Jokic to 1.
Oh my goodness. Yo.
So I'll
All right.
let Aiden state his case.
I don't think it's close. I hate to break it to you. In my assessment of this question, if I'm starting a team, there is nobody I'd rather have than Jokic based on how he elevates his team. Look at the team that SGA has with him. All right. He was mainly just responsible for scoring as opposed to Jokic, who had to carry the load passing the ball, rebounding, a lot of other things. And Jokic's situation last year was abysmal. His coach and GM got fired like halfway through the season, and thank the Lord they got Michael Porter Jr. out of that team. I do not like him. Bringing in Cam Johnson, they still have Jamal Murray. I just feel like Jokic. Like I respect Ryan's take. I think Jokic is going to go down as close to like a top 15 player of all time. And just statistically last year, I'm trying to pull up. He had an insane statistical season. And the only reason he didn't win MVP is because his team success wasn't there. But he was shooting 42% from three, 80% free throw, 58% from the field, averaging a triple double, right? So I'm surprised Emmanuel, who loves Russell Westbrook, doesn't respect the triple double.
I said that earlier, funny enough.
Okay,
I said that.
I like that
before.
little
But
flight there. I
make
like
the
that little
argument
that
for
before,
SGA,
man.
unless
Alright,
Cole wants to
right?
back me up at the end. But
SGA, as we all saw this season, won MVP, Finals MVP, and Western Conference Finals MVP. All right, we all saw that. I'm going to throw away the accolades for this because we're just going to talk about players right now. SGA, unlike Jokic, and possibly, like I was saying this entire time, is one of the best two-way players in the game. He was a top 5 DPOY vote, and we even got Ryan to give him out here. Jokic is a horrid defender.
Whoa.
I agree.
Horrid?
I agree. I
He's
agree.
not.
he's
I
like
agree.
Horrid?
I
above
agree.
average.
I agree.
People in the
He's
paint
above
guarded by
average.
Jokic shot what?
Above
I think
average.
above
Slightly.
Look at the
average.
defensive win shares. Look at the
He
shooting percentage wins
people
scoring people.
when
In
Jokic
compare,
guards,
hold on. Are we doing this as a Jokic as a NBA player in comparison to Shea? Which one are we doing?
An NBA player. He's above average.
Okay, sure. You
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
give him above average, fine. But
You're saying
he's nowhere in comparison to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Is he
Okay,
really
and
that
Shea
good of a
is
defender?
nowhere near Jokic in comparison to his offensive ability.
SGA is a better scorer, a better ball handler. He's a better rebounder than Jokic is.
What?
I agree. Jokic lets up offensive rebounds a whole lot. That's true. We've seen that in the playoffs.
We're about to pull up the offensive rebound percentage against. I don't even know where that is.
I mean, if you want to, sure, but like
and you also got to
in the
think where
playoffs. In the playoffs. Let's make that clear.
Oh, you want to talk about playoffs?
Yeah.
You,
Yeah, we want to talk about playoffs. Come on,
yeah,
bro.
we're talking because
Okay, look,
Continue.
I'm barely giving you Jokic as a above average defender because people when guarded by Jokic, if I remember the stat correctly, in the paint they score either 70 or 80% from there when guarded by Jokic in the paint.
Yeah, I gotta see this source.
I want to see the source.
I got you. Let me look it back up. I'll let y'all go with
Was it
whatever
was
y'all gotta say.
it was definitely Centel, bro.
no, bro.
You got you.
We looked that up. I remember
You
Ryan
fell for the
looking that
Centel.
up, and I was going against both of them because I was like, Jokic is the MVP, and this is during the MVP talk. We're now talking about season and playoffs. And don't get me wrong, Jokic's situation was abysmal. I won't sit here and say it wasn't. That was a pretty bad situation. But at the same time, what I'm not going to sit here and do is discredit Shea because of what he I like. I have to admit of what he's done, and I've been Jokic this entire year. But I can't sit here and deny what the man's done. I mean, it's just like
Okay,
who do you know
what about
good
Tatum?
with two
What about
way right
Tatum
now?
when he won a championship? Were we saying Tatum was the best player in the NBA when he won a
Because
championship?
He was barely the best person on his team.
Yeah,
there.
He
he
didn't even
wasn't
win
playing
Finals
well
MVP.
on his own
Yeah.
team.
Exactly.
Shea
But we
was
all
playing
know-
great.
Okay,
What
okay,
are
okay,
you
okay.
talking about?
Okay, I'll give Shea blocks. I'll give him like defense points. But Jokic is a better rebounder. He's a better.
No, he isn't
He
a better
just
rebounder. He
said
is
that
so
he
bad
went
at
up a whole
rebounding,
bunch of-
bro.
He's
No,
so
wait.
terrible
Okay.
at rebounding.
What are you guys
Yeah.
on?
Okay.
No, okay, I
Look,
got you.
right.
Say less.
Obviously,
I got you.
we all
Say
know
less.
Jokic is a center. I sure hope we all know that, right? Where are you going to be posted up most of the time? In the paint, able to get rebounds. SGA is a point guard. He's a guy where he has to guard is always on the perimeter or nowhere near the basket, and he has to go through Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein to get to the rebound 90% of the time.
Hold on.
You
Give me
know,
1 second.
it's
Give me 1 second.
funny
Give me 1 second. Give
because
me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Jokic is literally a better shooter
Give
than
me 1
SGA.
second. Give me 1 second.
He's not a better
Ryan-
mid-range
Ryan.
shooter or finisher.
I'm working on it.
No. What website is that?
NBA.com stats.
Are we going to disagree? Because
I mean, his true shooting percentage was better. His 3-point percentage was better, and he actually shot the same amount of 3-pointers as SGA. And just like his overall field goal percentage.
But SGA is a better finisher and mid-range shooter.
Absolutely.
I can give you the.
No, I'll give him mid-range. I'll give him mid-range.
Are we going to give him finisher?
No, not finisher. You could take that.
Okay, so that's 2 out of the 3.
2 out of 3.
Okay, hold on.
Let's talk about playmaker, IQ.
Okay. No, there's
overall
no hesitation.
Impact.
There's no hesitation on.
Let's talk about like the plus
passing.
minus when they're off the floor. I think OKC literally plays better when SGA is off the floor.
Okay, first of all, if you watch the playoffs, once SGA was off the court, it was
abysmal.
It was hard to watch. They struggled
abysmal.
so bad. They struggled so bad that they had to put Jalen Williams in, who, mind you, was an all-defensive team member and all-star as well this season, to help the bench out. That's how bad that bench was starting to score when SGA was not on there.
If you put SGA
I'm just
on
thinking
the
like
Wizards,
on the Wizards?
If you put SGA on the Wizards or you put Jokic on the Wizards, I think Jokic contends for a top 4 seed, and I think SGA is in the play-in game.
Not maybe.
I don't think Jokic. I don't think SGA elevates.
No, he's actually got a point. He's actually got a point.
He's actually got a point.
He's got a point.
Anything, okay,
I don't see.
Hear me out. Let's be a little bit balanced.
Okay, wait.
I feel like it's equal.
Wait,
no.
I feel like.
Let me ask you this: What's the problem with the Nuggets
so.
team right now? They don't have the support. Well, before this all season,
they're about to get.
Before this all season happened, what was the problem with the Nuggets? They didn't have the supporting cast to take them where they needed to be, right?
Yeah.
So if you translate that to the Nuggets, you have a worse supporting staff or supporting cast than what the Nuggets ever had. So there's absolutely no way they're making it to the playoffs, even with Jokic there or even SGA there. That's how bad that team is.
Okay, but you're thinking about how bad Jokic's supporting cast was, but he still averaged over 10 assists. I mean, this man he creates the easiest buckets for his team.
Yeah, but also look,
his IQ is off the charts.
But also look who he has on that team. I know y'all discredit Michael Porter Jr. there, but he's also a pretty good scorer. And along with Jamal Murray,
before his shoulder, hold on. Before his shoulder injury, Michael Porter was a semi-consistent shooter. Let's
Aaron
not
Gordon as
discredit
well.
Don't
him.
even say semi.
Yeah, he was.
Jermaine was
He
Before his
was.
shoulder
He was.
injury.
Okay,
was.
okay, okay,
He
okay. He was
was.
decent. He was decent.
And then when the shoulder injury came, yes, that significantly made him worse. That's fair.
You had Jamal Murray there, Aaron Gordon. I'm not saying he's obviously like an elite level talent or
I'm
something.
going to say, yet again, I understand the whole statistic. Jokic hasn't played with any All Stars. Like, I was on that side, and I completely understand. I do. I really do. And to me, it's close. But to say it's far and wide, I disagree. I have to take into account that in comparison to SGA's defense, in comparison to Jokic's, is quite large.
It's as large. It's as long and as large as the Grand Canyon to me.
I mean, I see that when it comes to defense, and of course, offensive Jokic's playmaking is superiorly better.
No,
but
Offense is just as large.
But I feel like
I
I
wouldn't
don't
say
think the
just as
offense
large,
is.
but
I don't think the offense
yeah.
is as large as you're making it. I disagree.
I think so.
I feel like
I don't
at the same time, we're talking about still how much did he average? Like 30 a game.
Are we talking about
Yeah, 30.
He was still top what was it, top 5 in blocks for his position.
Top 3 in steals, top 3 in assists, rebounds,
In
points.
his position. I want you to hear what I'm saying. In his position.
But-
SGA was top in almost every statistical category in his position.
and also
his
top
position.
5 in Defensive Player of the Year votings as well, and had a pretty strong case to make DPOY this season as well.
Yes, and we discussed that, and I was sitting there like, yeah, but Jokic, I can't do that anymore when the season's ended. I can't.
So glad.
I can't, because I'm thinking about, like, if it really comes down, I have to choose between 2 players to start my team.
So you would rather have somebody
Between
that's a
2 players to start my team.
You would rather have a defensive liability than an elite level 2-way
Liability is pushing it.
He's
He
not
is a
Liability might be
defensive
pushing it.
He's not
liability.
a liability.
Pushing
He is
it,
not
that
a
might be
liability.
pushing it. I wouldn't say a liability. Emil, I'm hearing you. I'm not saying liability, but I am saying in comparison, Shea is much better. In comparison,
In comparison to Shea,
I
of course,
was
Shea's
surprised
better.
you guys gave Jokic an above average defender. I figure
That's the
him
consensus
below
around
average.
the league.
Really,
Yeah.
an above average defender.
Like not like like a slightly above average.
like can we get a comparison? Like who we consider above average? Like Tyus
Okay,
I
Jones
would
okay.
or
consider
something?
Steph Curry.
he said
That's
Tyus Jones. Nah, he said Tyus Jones. Get out.
We're talking about early Chris Paul, early Curry, something like that.
Let's not act like he's a liability. His defensive IQ
His
is also underrated.
transition defense is horrid.
I mean, he is slow as a rock in the center. I feel like that's unfair.
Yeah, but he
I feel
also,
like that's
if you watch the
unfair.
games, he
His
positions
perimeter
himself well.
defense,
And
That's true.
bad. Interior defense, not that great. Come on.
he's not an interior defender, though. He's a center.
What
He's
are
seven.
you? You're a center. You have to be an interior defender at that point.
Oh, I
If
thought
you're
you
not
said-
an
never
interior
mind.
defender.
Oh, I misheard you.
Oh, okay, I was about to say. What? Are you,
Okay.
I
No,
Got your
never mind.
stats for you guys. That you
Okay.
asked
All
for.
right, thank you.
oh,
Thank
Pookie.
you.
Well, so I just found opponent offensive rebounds as well as opponent second chance points. So both of them are nearly identical, and it's just a matter of a couple decimal play. Or
Yeah. Keep on going.
so
This is
Jokic opponents averaged 8.7 offensive rebounds. Shea's opponents averaged 8.3. This is
Mhm.
for
Wow.
and amongst players with at least 25 minutes a game, I think that's 10th most for Jokic. And then second chance points are like 10.7 to 10.9 between the two. I don't know where
That
that
proves
ranks.
my point, though. That proves the point. Jokic is a center. You should
And
not
also-
be letting up boards as a center.
And also, OKC plays switch defense, unlike the Nuggets. You see, when you watch the playoffs this entire time, you would see SGA get switched onto Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner, all these others, because that's how OKC's defense works. You rotate
guard
onto the
Miles
next
Turner.
player.
He averaged
He's a-
13 rebounds a game. I don't know what more you want from him. Like, Embiid averages like
But
10 these days. Like, he's
Uh,
not nearly as good a rebounder.
obviously, as you look at the stats, they look real nice. It's the reason why I don't support Jokic here, but I support Russ. Russ was a different scenario than this here.
We don't gotta talk about Russ because
Hey,
we're not even going.
Hey, I'm just saying.
That's why Russ never won a championship, all right?
Don't
okay.
fall for it, Emmanuel.
Yeah, that's easy, bait.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
easy, bait.
Okay.
I'll
Jokic is
say
good.
that Dwayne, you and I, we were both Jokic supporters for the MVP. I still stand by. If I had a vote, I would have voted for Jokic.
For
When
MVP,
I make
absolutely.
I make a lot of top 10 lists for like baseball and stuff positions. I like rewarding guys very small, like not ton, for various reasons. The only reason I have SGA number one over Jokic is just because he's on top of the world right now. He won all the MVPs, championship MVP, and it's close. And you say Jokic, I really don't care who you have as number one, but for me personally, I just think he's on top of the world right now. So I'll put you number one. I think Jokic had the better season, regular season, should have been MVP, whatnot. But that's just my reason.
Can I make a different point?
Go
Kind
for
Go
of.
it.
ahead.
All right.
I will say I think it's a bit of recency bias just because he won the championship this year as opposed to Jokic who won it a couple years ago. So they both have that one championship. But I do think the supporting casting is pretty stark because you could make the argument that OKC had two other top 25 players in Chet and Jalen Williams. And Jalen Williams really took a leap in that playoffs and outscored SGA in a couple of different games, right? I'm just looking at the Ringer top 100. It's a pretty credible top 100, whatever. And then Jamal Murray's listed at 29, sure. But I just think that the Thunder are set up so much better than the Nuggets were last year. And the Nuggets took them to 7 games. The only team besides the Pacers at the end to do that. And the Nuggets had a coach on that was there for like 3 months, right? So I don't think
No,
I
he was
just
he was an
expect the
assistant
Nuggets to
coach.
be
He's been there the entire season. He's been underneath
right.
Mike Malone.
But they had a coach step into that role
Yeah,
midway through the season. They still took them to 7 games. And I think that Thunder team is legit one of the better teams outside the Warriors in the century, right? So they are set up so well, and the Nuggets are just not. And SGA is asked to do a lot less than Jokic is. And I bring it back to the Wizards point. That's how I look at this: is who do I pick to start a season from scratch? But his team is definitely better for sure.
I just feel like we're really undervaluing what defense means for a team there. Like, imagine if Jokic was there for the Thunder, and now that defense is not as good as it was because Jokic isn't able to rotate as fast or get down and everywhere else. It's the scheme fit, and Shea fits that perfectly, and he showed his value so much more on there. Even if you put Shea's defense onto the Nuggets, it's still elite level defense regardless. The way to get steals, the way to get blocks, you know.
I think he actually does have a very good defensive IQ. I mean,
Oh,
he's
okay,
obviously not the
defensive
fastest.
IQ. Okay.
He's not flashy, but he's dependable. He's smart, and I think Shea is he's obviously one of the best on ball defenders. But
And off ball defenders.
And off ball as well.
yeah, but I mean Denver's defense with them on the court was above average, especially in clutch minutes and moments. I think he's a very good communicator too. He's communicating constantly on defense. He's a great rebounder who ends possessions from what I've seen. He ends a lot of possessions. He does.
I
I'm
don't.
saying, wait. One more point. One more point.
Okay.
I'm saying sort of to Aiden's point, let's talk impact. Jokic is the system. They got to
I
realize,
agree. I
you
actually agree
build
with
the
it.
offense around him, and he
I
makes
agree with
everyone
that.
around him better.
Absolutely.
Shea is an isolation killer, but he doesn't elevate teammates quite the same way that Jokic makes role players look elite.
I'm
Just as
sorry. Did
Aaron
we
Gordon.
not hold up?
Wait,
Did we
wait,
not see the playoffs? Did we not just see what happened to the finals with Jalen Williams? Are we seriously saying he doesn't make
All right,
other
let's
players
put
better?
Jalen Williams on Jokic's team. Jokic wins that series in 6 games. Yeah.
Okay. What happened?
I like it.
What happened in the
Just a boss.
What happened in the Pacers finals?
That's a 50-50.
What happened? The
He went from having
Pacers
one of the greatest games to
focused
worst
on
games. So I don't know.
absolute. Yeah, we saw Pacers focus the absolute hell out of SGA, and you know what the Thunder said?
I don't
Okay,
know.
we're gonna let y'all focus on him. What we're gonna do? We're gonna make sure SGA is able to give Jalen Williams the ball. He made him play better. He made him drop that 40 points. Mind you, Jalen Williams was injured. He couldn't shoot. His wrist was hurt, bro. He had to get surgery after it. He had that injury
his
for
wrist
2
was
months.
broken. His wrist
And
was
he put up
broken.
40 points. You know why? Because SGA
Fabulous.
made him the better player because he was able to give him the ball. Talking about he can't make people, but come on, man. Don't make me disappointed.
Well done, everyone.
Big old agree to disagree.
Yes, that one, I was worried there we were about to run into another 40-minute debate like last time. So
All of those were valid takes, though.
They
So.
loved it. Great takes
you
for both sides. We got lots of clips that I'll have fun with. But that's all for our list. So I think that system works well. A lot of good discussions and debates. Try to run this back with QBs at some point in the summer as we look to
That's
NFL.
top five.
Um, so thank you for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time.